What's good, everyone? You are tuned in to Raggedy Crimes and Chaos, where transportation choices are questionable. I'm your host, and today we're in Polk County, Florida, where a 48-year-old man got drunk, rode a Segway into oncoming traffic directly outside the sheriff's office substation, with a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit. Let's get into this spectacularly stupid disaster. Alright, so this is Andy Segeers, 48 years old, Polk County, Florida. And Andy is an alcoholic. By his own admission, he drinks a lot. On this particular day, in October 2019, Andy has consumed nearly 2 bottles of wine. And he decides to go for a ride on his Segway. You know, those 2-wheeled personal transportation devices mall cops use? Andy's plan? Ride his Segway to somewhere. He doesn't really have a destination. He's just riding. Now, here's where Andy makes a critical error. He chooses to ride his Segway on Dunson Road, which is home to the Polk County Sheriff's Office Central Substation, as in the actual police station. And Andy, drunk out of his mind, rides past it in the wrong lane, heading into oncoming traffic. Cars are swerving, honking, trying to avoid hitting the drunk guy on a Segway. A sheriff's lieutenant is inside the substation doing paperwork. Standard day. He looks out the window and sees a man on a Segway in the middle lanes, swerving, blocking traffic. The lieutenant immediately walks outside. "Sir, pull over." Andy doesn't hear him. Or maybe he does and just doesn't care. The lieutenant has to warn approaching cars. "Watch out, there's a drunk guy on a Segway." Drivers slow down, confused. The lieutenant finally gets Andy to stop. Andy wobbles to a stop. The Segway tips slightly, but he catches himself. The lieutenant approaches. Immediately smells alcohol. Strong alcohol. "Sir, have you been drinking?" Andy, slurring his words, nods. "Yeah, I've been drinking. I'm an alcoholic." The lieutenant blinks. "Okay, how much have you had to drink?" "Nearly 2 bottles of wine." The lieutenant radios for backup. "I need another officer at my location. We've got a drunk Segway rider." Dispatch pauses. "Say again?" "A drunk Segway rider." A second officer arrives. They start conducting field sobriety tests. "Sir, can you stand on one leg?" Andy tries. Immediately loses balance. "Hold on, I get tired fast when standing. Why? I have a pacemaker. The officers exchange glances. Sir, Segways are operated from a standing position. I know. So you've been standing this whole time? Yeah. But now you can't stand for a sobriety test? Andy shrugs. The officers are done. Andy's taken to the substation, just a few 100 feet away. He could have walked there in 2 minutes. Officers administer a breath test. The intoxilizer, 8,000 beeps. Results, 0.24 BAC. That's 3 times the legal limit of 0.08. The officer stares at the screen. Sir, you're at 0.24. How are you even standing? Practice. Andy's arrested on the spot, charged with DUI. Bond set at $1,000. Now, you might be thinking, can you get a DUI on a Segway? Yes, you absolutely can. In Florida, Segways are legally considered motor vehicles, which means operators are subject to the same drunk driving laws as cars or motorcycles. Andy found this out the hard way at the sheriff's office in front of multiple officers while riding into oncoming traffic. The Polk County Sheriff's Office posts about it on Facebook. You've heard about driving while intoxicated on a horse, on a tractor, a bike, and even a riding lawnmower. Here's one for the books, a Segway. The post goes viral. Thousands of shares, comments everywhere. Only in Florida. He rode past the sheriff's office. That's next level stupid. Mall cop, drunk edition. Even the sheriff's office can't resist. They add, pro tip, don't ride a Segway drunk, especially not past our building. So, what have we learned from today's Raggedy crime? Lesson 1. Segways are motor vehicles in Florida. You can get a DUI on one. Lesson 2. If you're going to commit a crime, don't do it directly outside a police station. Location matters. Lesson 3. 2 bottles of wine and a Segway are a terrible combination. And honestly, the location. Andy could have ridden anywhere. Any street, any neighborhood, but he chose the street with the sheriff's office and rode into oncoming traffic while drunk. That's not bad luck. That's bad decision making. Andy posted bond, later pled guilty to DUI, sentenced to probation and mandatory alcohol counseling. And hopefully, he sold his Segway. Alright, that's it for today's episode of Raggedy crimes and chaos. If this made you reconsider drunk Segway rides, good. Just don't ride drunk. Period. Tomorrow, we're talking about a 68-year-old man in Florida who crashed a riding lawnmower into a police car while drunk with a blood alcohol level of 0.24 and told the officer, "Fuck it, I'm drunk. Take me to jail." Honestly, honesty is not always the best policy. Until next time, stay safe out there, and please don't drink and Segway. I'm out.